Hi, I'm Rania, founder of R2R Coaching. I am a relationship coach, a Reiki practitioner. I practice energy healing in several modalities. I've been a blogger for a few years now and soon to be published writer. But I do these videos right here on my channel in order to educate about several relationship topics. The series that I've invested a lot of my time and effort in is this series of narcissism. It seems to be that in this day and age, everyone is experiencing a narcissist in their life. Or maybe you've already been subjected to narcissistic abuse, but never knew how to label it, never knew what was really going on. But now, because there is more knowledge, we're able to label it. We're able to understand the people that we end up in relations with, whether it be partnerships, or their family members, or their co-workers, or their friends. Narcissism is out there and it's real. And the more you educate yourself about how to handle them, how to cope being in such relationships, better yet, learn how to escape the relationship and leave it behind, and then heal from it. This is what I'm here to do. This is why all of my videos are going to be mostly intense. Of course, I'm gonna try and make it humorous, but there's not much humor in narcissism and being abused. Please do subscribe to my channel. Share them with your friends. Share them with someone who needs to hear the message that I am putting out there. I put a lot of work into this. I put a lot of work into it because I want to help others who don't have the knowledge. Because once upon a time, I didn't have the knowledge. I wasn't very well educated. Hell, I didn't even know what narcissism was just a few years ago. But now I can tell you, I know a lot more, and thank God that I do, because it's helping me a great deal. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing.
Hello, and once again, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is going to be split into two sections because otherwise it would be too long for you. What I want to do is cover with you 22 signs that we may have missed when we started a relationship with a narcissist, when we didn't know that they were a narcissist. And later on, we ended up realizing that there were red flags along the way that we did not notice. Some we end up discovering on our own, or some end up being brought to our attention by the people that we start telling some of what we experience. So the 22 signs that we may have missed, I'm going to split them into two episodes. In this episode, I'm going to be covering with you from number 1 to number 11. And in the next episode, I will be covering with you from number 12 to number 22. But to start off, just want to give a quick introduction about why is it that we miss these signs. We miss these signs because we are blinded by our love. Because in the love bombing phase, when the narcissist is intensifying their tactics of getting us hooked into them and almost becoming addicted to having them in our lives, we don't see subtle hints that they may slip, because narcissists are going to be very careful not to show you their ugly side that they know exists, but they're hiding from you. The same one they're hiding from the whole world. They only show it when they're ready to let their mask come off, either when they're not getting the supply they need from you, or they're ready to discard you. So they're going to be hiding that side of them. But along the way, their behavior is going to slip. And unless you are paying attention, and unless you are putting two and two together, like we say, and realizing a pattern, and realizing the existence of more than one strange behavior. And if you're educated on the narcissism subject, then you're going to be able to pick up on the signs. But if you're not educated, there's nothing that you're looking for because you're all smitten and floating on cloud 9 because you felt you found your soulmate, you're not going to see the signs. You're going to shrug it off or justify the behavior, find excuses for it, or just simply say, okay, yeah, I see that it's not the greatest thing that this person is exhibiting, but I'm not perfect either, so whatever. Or you may say, well, some of these behaviors, I've noticed them in other people in past relationships or in friendships, or you may even exhibit one of them yourself, and you're gonna, again, justify it and say, whatever, it's normal. You're not going to think much of it. Anyways, so without spending too much time in the introduction, let's get to the first 11 signs that we may have missed, that later on we realized we're dealing with a narcissist. Before I begin, I want to share with you a quote that I read online that kind of touches on the topic of seeing signs. The universe is giving you signs every day. In your sleep, on your timeline, in your conversations, on the radio, in the sky, in synchronicities. Pay attention to them and piece them together. You will notice a pattern. Now let me begin with number 1 sign that we may have missed. Unhealthy communication. And under unhealthy communication, I have some subcategories for you. Unclear explanation or confusing in relaying information to you. Interrupting or talking over you. Contradicting. Needing to have the last say. Dominating a conversation. They can be rude when talking to customer service personnel. Vague responses to questions. You're going to be hearing a lot of, I don't know, and I don't remember. You're going to be escaping from answering direct questions. They're going to be changing the subject when they are being cornered, and if you do insist, they will either leave the space where you're having the conversation, or if it's over the phone, they're going to get off the phone, or just they're going to disappear from texting. And if you ever confront them about anything, they will say that you're exaggerating, or that you're, making a big deal out of nothing, or simply is not true. So they would be denying. And when you remind them of them repeating something that you've asked them not to do, they're going to deny that they did it, and then they're going to tell you, why are you bringing up the past? Number 2 sign. Complicate, exaggerate things, and they're storytellers. And we're talking from as simple as they did something 2 days ago to it being last week. So they will stretch the timeline for something, even if it's not necessary, just to suit their agenda, whatever it may be. They will complicate average day-to-day tasks and complain that it's because of other people, not them. They're going to be quick to judge and point out faults in any system, but it's never their fault. They love to tell stories to grab people's attention. This is how they remain the center of attention. What they'll do is they'll exaggerate stories and exaggerate anything that happened to keep the interest on them so that people will be listening to them. they're actually incapable of being genuinely interested in someone's story when they're telling it. Their story has to be more important than anyone else. Even if it's something disastrous, their disaster story still has to be the number one. The number 3 sign, they are complainers and usually harping over the same issue. It's a habit for them that you will notice they repeat. You will hear them complain about the same thing over and over with the same tone and perhaps even using the same words. They are not looking for solutions or advice. They just want to hear themselves vent and you giving them attention and validation to continue feeling like they are the victim. It's about needing you to agree with them. That's what they're looking for. Someone to join them in their negativity. And when you don't join, you will be accused of being inconsiderate and straight up just wrong. The number 4 sign, rebels. They don't follow the simplest rules or laws. They won't stop at stop signs. They won't follow the speed limit, always have to go faster. Even in a school zone where you're supposed to be watching out for children, there's no regard for pedestrians or other cars. And number 5 sign that you may have missed, entitled. They expect you to cancel your plans with whoever so you can spend time with them. And obviously that's when on their own schedule, obviously. And if you don't, they will be guilting you that you are not making them your priority, just as they are, and accusing you that you don't care about them the way they do. They hate waiting in line for anything. They're special. So they shouldn't have to wait. They also can't stand being stuck in traffic. They deserve to be moving at all times. Rush hour? What do you mean rush hour? It doesn't apply to them. They expect people to jump to serve them. They feel everyone is beneath them and that they deserve better treatment. Number 6, codependent. You're going to feel suffocated at some point. Can't do anything on your own anymore because they always want to be with you. It will seem that their happiness is dependent on you. Like you have become responsible for how good or bad their mood is. This creates a lot of pressure on you. They're going to try to convince you that that's not the case and that you should just be happy that they want to do everything with you because other couples, they don't have that, so you should consider yourself lucky. Number 7, obsession with money. Observe how they are cheap in general, looking to save on every little thing, calculating the costs. They may have seemed large, and by large I mean like a spender in the early stages of the relationship, but then notice how contradicting their spending habits is going to be later on. You're going to get confused with this one because they like to show off so much, but then at the same time, they don't want to spend the money. But what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for the time when you do bring it up and call them out on them being stingy and cheap. And then they're going to remind you of all the money that they've spent and all the things that they've bought you and all the experiences that you've had together as a couple. And you're going to confirm that, yes, that they did spend that kind of money, but that was in the beginning. This was all part of the plan. They spent all that money, bought all those things so that they can put it in your face later. They know that they're not going to be doing this forever. They decided that, okay, they're willing to spend that much now because later on they know they're not going to. But it's a way to fool you, if that makes any sense. Number 8, Users. You will notice that they like to use people a lot. They tend to ask for favors almost all the time. Sometimes also because they're lazy. But what they do is that they will offer to do things for you first, then ask you to do things for them. It's almost like a business deal. As a matter of fact, that's how narcissists see life. They see life as a business deal. If you are of no benefit to them, they don't care to know you. There has to be something in it for them to gain. Anything. Number 9, reckless driving and road rage. Every car is their enemy. They actually drive quite rough. They have no respect to other drivers. They're always in competition with who will be ahead. They will do crazy lane changes, no signaling, of course, just abrupt change. And in the middle of traffic, they're going to get really angry, trying to pass the cars and get ahead, even though the traffic is for everyone. But not for the narcissist. This is a waste of their time, their precious time. And lo and behold, someone cut them off, or they didn't give them way when they were trying to change a lane. Or let's say high beam them in the fast lane. It's wartime. You will experience road rage like you've never had. 2 more to go. Number 10, a general obsession with you. So they'll be stalking you, always wanting to know where you are and what you're doing. And they're going to be smooth doing it. You won't notice it. They'll be like, hey, how's it going? What's up? What you're up to? What did you do today? But they're going to ask a lot of questions. Watch how they're going to be asking a lot of questions. There's also going to be obsessive messaging and calling. They will be harassing you, and it's with the pretense that they care about you and miss you. They won't allow you time to miss them. They're going to be always around you, or on the phone talking to you, or messaging you. Your space will be hijacked. Last one for today's episode, number 11, perpetual messaging. And I have this a point on its own, even though I've mentioned it in a previous point before, but please allow me to explain what I mean by perpetual messaging. It's a very important flag that we all miss, and it's a really big sign to watch out for. When you are in a text battle over any problem or difference of opinion, let's say, even if it's not related to your relationship, it could just be difference of opinion about a general topic. You're going to notice that they're going to be sending text after text, hitting you with like one point after the next, trying to dominate the conversation, which is at the end of the day not a conversation. But they will be relentless in proving that they're right and you're wrong. And at the end of the day, that's all they need, is to win this battle of proving that they're right. Sometimes also they won't give you a chance to reply before asking the next question. So I want to give you an example with that. Let's say you've messaged them in the morning, good morning, and then you got busy with your day-to-day life, and you're intending to talk to them later, but nothing. It's just that you got busy. You'll find them at some point during the day sending you, hey, how are you? Haven't heard from you all day. And then message right after that, are you okay? Another message, I didn't hear from you since you said good morning. Another one, I was worried about you. Another one, do you want to explain? You could have maybe started seeing the first message or two and you were about to start typing the reply, but you won't even have a chance to send the response in because they're going to be hitting you with one after the next. And it's like, what's going on here? You know that you didn't do this on purpose. And up until this moment, there was no issues. You were just busy doing life. But of course, remember, they feel that you are their possession and they must know everything about you at all times. So, as you see, I shared with you the first 11 signs out of a total of 22 that we may have missed during our relationship with a narcissist when we didn't know that they were a narcissist. Later on, as we think back and recall all those things that happened in the dating process, we start to see things that we didn't see while they were happening. But when you start to have a clear mind, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when they did this. I remember when that happened. How did I miss this? How did I not see it? How did I not see the pattern? How did I not pay attention? And we beat up ourselves for not seeing them. It's not your fault that you didn't see them. It's not your fault. They were very good at fooling you. In any case, let me end it right here because my intention was not to make these videos too long because I know I'm covering a lot of information here. Please make sure you watch the next episode where I share with you the next 11 points for you to know the signs that you possibly have missed, knowing that you're dealing with a narcissist. And until next episode, take care of yourselves. Ciao, ciao.
I hope you liked this video. Please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you for watching.